So, BLO Lumumba said the Christians are a problem. He said religion is a problem. He said Christianity is not for Africans. And check this out. He is also quoting the Bible, right? The politician, let's use an example of the president. He said when he gave the money, he gave it to God. In other words, the fundraising that he's been doing, giving money to the churches, he said he's doing God's work and he's giving it to God. His brother, Kashagwa, was or is a preacher with a wife. He was accused of corruption and some deals. Kashagwa right now is accusing the president of, I guess, bad leadership, corruption, and all that stuff. So you see, these two politicians are accusing each other. They're saying some of the craziest things you could think of. They are both at this point no different. They're brothers of the same mom, I guess. Corrupt, liars, and whatnot. And yet, when you sit and watch, when you listen to them, they're quoting the Bible. You have the preacher. Preacher said, no. I'm doing the work of God. You give this preacher tithes. The president gave him money, or he gave his fundraising. We're talking millions. This guy or this preacher is collecting money. When things went down south, notice what he said. He told the president, we're returning your money. He's collecting money from you. You don't know what he's using it for, right? You and I know. None of us is going back to the church and asking the preacher, that money we gave you last week, that 100,000, that 200,000, that 200, even if it's 100 shillings, none of us is going to ask him what you do with it. So he's collecting it. He's keeping it. He's using it for his benefit. He's lying to you. He's stealing from you. He's raping you financially. He's actually raping your people, your women, your children, physically. We know that. There's been so many accusations like that. He is abusing you. And yet, just like Lumumba, who's criticizing Christians and quoting the Bible, just like the politician who's stealing from you, corrupt, and quoting the Bible, the preacher too, check this out, with all that said and done, is quoting the Bible to you. I ask you, who is lying to you? According to me, the preacher is not lying to you. According to me, the politician is not lying to you. According to me, these intellects, the Lumumbas and all of them, are not lying to you. It's you who is lying to yourself. It is you who has been so corrupted and so confused, so messed up, that you're refusing to walk away from this vomit. It's you who is lying to yourself. None of these people are lying to you. I'm talking to you right now because I know many of you could hear this voice and they know the truth. Many of you understand what I'm talking about here. The preacher didn't force you to go to church. You took your ass and your family to his church You went and gave him 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 as either sadaga or tithes. You did. He didn't force you. Although there's that one idiot who is essentially threatening to kick you out of church if you don't give at least 1,000 or whatever. But you willingly took your butt over there every Sunday, taking your family and giving money to be lied to be fooled, to be raped financially, to be raped psychologically. You took your behind there. So you can't blame no preacher. That's why you can't take the preacher to court. You took your behind there. All he has to do is threaten you. Just like when our tree fell in my home, we lost a loved one. A big tree fell. And when that preacher came over, he was threatening to all of us, the people who are mourning over our loved one. He was threatening, if you don't believe in Jesus now, if you don't believe in God now, if you don't believe in this spirit now, you're going to go to hell and you will never see your loved one. I sat there, looked at this liar, and I said, this is complete abuse. But thinking legally, I realized we could not take his ass to court. Why? We invited him to come lie to us. When someone died in your home, you invited him to come lie to you. So when he's lying to you, he knows you invited him or you invited your behind to his church. And so he haunts you. And because he haunts you and millions others, this politician gave him money because he knows, the politician knows he has slaves, he has sheep upon whom he can tell them, let's vote for him. And you will vote for him. Just like when he tells you, I need 20 from you, I need 1,000 from you, I need 2,000 from you, you will give it to him because he haunts you. So the politician says, I gave money to God. No. You and I know he didn't give no money to God. He gave the money to the preacher. He gave the money. Or he bought out the preacher because the preacher haunts you. And here it is, you, the one who is willingly going to him, giving your money, giving your time. You're giving that, all of that to this preacher, and you want to complain of a government who's corrupt. Who is corrupt? You're corrupt. It's you who's giving the money to the preacher. It is you who's taking your time. Time is money, and you're giving time to that preacher. And now when the president or when a government asks you for some change, an extra tax here and there, you complain that you don't complain giving money to that preacher. How much money you give every Sunday? Imagine if we all were giving that money to the government. The debt will be paid for. So many projects will be brought to you. So many social services will be delivered by the government. If every Sunday we were fundraising for the government, so this government can distribute these funds. If we were funding the government every Sunday to fight corruption, if we were meeting every Sunday to talk about how we can clean up our country, the country would have moved forward. But you don't have no problem giving money and time to this preacher. But you have a problem complaining of a president who says, let's pay a little bit more taxes here for the services that you're asking for. You have a problem with that. You liar, you. The problem is not the preacher. The problem is not the politician. The problem is not these intellects who are confusing you on television night and day, talking about this, that, that. The problem is you and I. I'm asking you to clean yourself. Run. Run for your life. I have said this and I'm going to repeat it again. You will never be a better person worshiping a deity given to you by the people who corrupted you, who molested you, who colonized you. The person who was crucified in Palestine, Israel area was not white. That part of the world was the east of Africa. It was part of Africa, and the people lived there were Africans. Right now, you're watching a sweet baby Jesus who upon uh, Constantine and them painted him white, and now you're worshiping a white person, and you think that person will come back to give you salvation. You're deluded. Imagine you right now. I don't know none of you who sits back and said, my grandfather or my grandmother or my mama or my dad who passed away is about to come back. You don't believe in your loved one coming back, but you believe in some lie of some white boy who died coming back to rescue you. That's what you believe, not me. You believe in that stuff. And we've asked you, we've begged you to think through these things, to know that you're being lied to. That preacher, I'm telling you again, my friends, is not professing something he knows. He don't know where he was 100 years ago. He was not alive. He doesn't know where he was 100 years ago, does he? He doesn't know where he will be tomorrow. He doesn't know what happens when we die. So when you go in there and listen to him, vomit lies given to him, you're listening to some person who has been bought to lie to you. He doesn't know where you've been before you were born. You don't know where you were before you were born. You were just about of the DNA of your mom and the gene of your mom and your dad. When you die, you've left your gene. You're gone. For someone else to say you're going to go somewhere else where they've never been, they're lying to you. And if you continue listening to a liar, you are a liar. You're a fool. You're a stupid person. Stop listening to a person lying to you. Listen to yourself. Ask yourself again. I ask you, my friends. Ask yourself again. When that person is reading that verse, you got to ask yourself and ask yourself, not him. You don't go to the liar to give you an answer of the lies he's giving you. If you go to the preacher and ask the preacher, tell me the truth about the Bible, if he is lying to you, it will even increase the amount or the weight of the lie so he can continue lying to you. You don't go to the liar to have the liar tell you the truth. You don't go to the politician to tell you about corruption. He is corrupt, so you don't go to him. You go to yourself or other intellects who have spent time investigating this mess. I ask you, my friends, there is no man alive who worships another man, because Jesus was another man, a dead man. There is no man alive who worships another man and thinks he or she will have some benefit or some success in life. So the barometer or the thermometer of a nation for me, I look through religion. All of these politicians that profess a Bible, that are so quick to tell you over first, they're lying to you, my friends. If you want to know the true direction of a country, look at the politicians and the preachers and the people themselves. If these people who are corrupt and lying to you according to first the Bible, any politician right now who is standing in front of you and quoting a Bible, that person is confused. That person is a lost person. That person doesn't know where he's going. That person does not know his history. And if you look our Kenyan politicians, if I have to zoom down to Kenya, all of them are quoting the Bible. That means all of them are deluded. And a deluded person cannot lead you. A confused person cannot lead you. A misdirected person cannot guide you. A thief cannot help you. If you take a benefit from a thief, you equally become a thief. So most of them, using my thermometer as the religion, are so lost. And you can see, even from the preachers themselves, There were preachers who were preaching. At some point, they got tired preaching because preaching doesn't old. They had to move on. And now they come to you with different sorts of lies right now. They become politicians. They become something else, which indicates or shows to you that this profession that they were in wasn't really a lie. So I know this, that the church or the Kenyan church or the African church is a cemetery for the mentally ill. And since most of you go out to listen to that preacher, we are all mostly mentally dead. I'm asking you to rise up today, wake up, and free yourself. Free yourself from following these preachers and politicians. You must run for your life. You need to rise up. You need to wake up. This is not a time to keep listening and following a liar. All of them are tricking you. And all of them are tricking you because you are the one who is subscribing to lies. It is you who is supposed to run away. Free yourself. It is not wrong to question. It is not wrong to stand and walk alone. That's what you need to do. It is not wrong to stand straight and look at that person in the face and ask direct questions rather than expect them to just continue giving you answers. Ask yourself, why should I go listen to this person every Sunday? Ask yourself why you should give money. Ask yourself why you should give time to these people or to that person. The time is now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. The time is now.